Lover.
Oh yeah, it's another day here at the Comeback Team Studios. You're watching another episode of the Interesting Times podcast, and this is your boy Bek Lover. I know you missed me, but I'm live, baby. I'm here for you. I'm trying to keep up. There's too much going on. If it's your first time watching my podcast, you have no idea what you're in store for. So make sure you hit that smash button. If you want somebody that does all the homework, gathers all the stories from around the world, and keeps you in the know in a very entertaining and theatrical way, you're in the right place. Now, you might not agree with everything I say. I'm not here telling you I'm God and I know everything and I'm perfect. You're allowed to tell me I'm wrong. I don't take offense. Just don't be disrespectful. Drop a comment. I might take some calls tonight, so if you're one of my loyalists, if you're a Bekster, I might take some calls at the end of this one. There's so much going on. There might be things I've missed. So I'm leaving it up to you. Now, I started a vlog. I'm going to be dropping those on my another channel that I'm starting. I have a lot coming your way. I miss all of you. It's been Ramadan. There's so much going on. I have so much expansion happening. I'm liquidating an asset. I'm dealing with inspectors. It's crazy what we go through. It's just crazy. In any event, I know I've been going viral like crazy because I'm getting stopped everywhere I go. I see what's going on TikTok. There's more people doing work on TikTok than I have. Random strangers have been posting so many clips on Instagram, on YouTube. I mean, there's channels that have more subscribers and more followers than me, I swear to God. And their whole content is just reposting clips of me. So maybe I should fire my entire team. I don't know. In any event, we're in the top 5% of all podcasts on Spotify, top 2% in the world, and that's because of all of you, and I thank you. I'm going to jump into all the headlines. There's a lot going on. And interesting world that we live in. Who needs fiction when you live in such a crazy, crazy world like the world that we live in? So here we go. You ready? Let's go, kids. Trump makes flurry of posts as global markets fall amid fears of a U.S. recession. President shares more than 100 Truth Social posts as stock markets react shakily to his refusal to rule out a recession. For those of you that are longtime followers, I told you once this guy gets back into power, there's going to be a massive collapse, I believe, in the stock market, in the housing market. All these bubbles are going to burst. You can't blame it on Trump, and I'm not sitting here to defend. You can't blame it on him. The guy just got into office, and really, it's been going on since 2008. This massive bubble with the Great Recession, with printing equities, and it's just been manipulation all around, okay? And the time to pay the piper is coming. But I also think it's a part of their agenda to collapse and destroy the entire American economy, to destroy the dollar, to bring in a crypto world, man. That's where this all goes if the people that are behind the curtains in the world, in my opinion, get their way to put us all on the universal ledger, to say this is how we're going to save America, and the Doge is a big part of it. And it's not about the economy. It's about control, in my humble opinion. If you guys think I'm crazy, drop a comment. If you're in the chats and you want to support the show, we're expanding. We're buying equipment, 10, 20 grand. Like, we need help, man. Al's coming on full time. We're expanding. We're going to be in the streets. We're going to be vlogging. And there's a super chat goal if you want to support. We love you. And it's going to be wild. What are your opinions? Do you think that the stock market's going to completely crash? I don't see how it doesn't. I want to refresh your memories. Now, let me pull this up. You know that during the Great Recession, that the stock market was around 7,000 points. We're at 40-something thousand points. There hasn't been a massive correction at all. We've just been doing quantitative easing and printing money, and it's been ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. What did it close out? What's the today? Let's see here. Let's see. What do we got? Stock market today, Dow falls, NASDAQ dropped, Dow's more than 450, but didn't it rally a little bit? I don't know what it closed at, but it's getting a little hectic. So, yeah, stocks close out volatile day as investors say market is sick and tired of Trump's tariffs. Listen, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There is no way out of the predicament that we are in with the amount of debt this country has accrued, with the amount of printing we've done in the last 20 years. There is no way out without paying the piper. There will be pain. There will be blood. There will be a lot of people struggling, and people are already struggling, man. I talk to all the restaurant owners out in New York City, all the club owners, all the hotels. The streets are quiet, man. I was in the city. It was gorgeous. 65 degrees. You could hear a pin drop in the East Village. Like, people are broke, man. Like this broken system that we've been a part of for so long. But you tell me, think about it logically. Now, if I had that kind of money in the stock market, I'd get out. I'm not here to give you financial advice. Please talk to a financial advisor. I'm saying if I would cash out. That's my opinion. I think a massive collapse is coming. I really do. So, and it's not going to be by accident, man. You know? So it is. So Donald Trump posted to social media more than 100 times on Monday in a frenzy of self-aggrandizing messages, even as the global stock market fell sharply amid fears that his economic policies could produce a U.S. recession. Far from rushing to calm troubled waters after markets reacted shakily to his refusal to rule out a recession, the U.S. president instead shared a blizzard of links on Truth Social, the platform he owns. Dozens of other messages followed in rapid succession, most of them sharing articles praising Trump's policies, economic and otherwise. Okay? What do you all think? Now, I see some of you in the comments here. King Ab says too much printing money. I agree. Chew suck. What do you think, buddy? So, I don't know. We have bots in there. Some people get mad. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my comments. Remember, I got a lot of people that hate my guts, man. So I have these bots. It doesn't mean that I'm doing it to you, but the AI. So don't take offense if you're in the comments section. If you're joining us on X, respect. U.S. added to Human Rights Watch list over Trump moves. The United States has been added. I'm not reading this acronym. Look at this acronym, man. This acronym's crazy. The United States has been added to CIVIC-US monitor list of potential human rights threats, a move the global non-for-profit says is directly linked to President Donald Trump's actions since his return to the White House in January. Restrictive executive orders, unjustifiable institutional cutbacks, and the intimidation tactics through threatening pronouncements by senior officials in the administration are creating an atmosphere to chill democratic dissent, a cherished American ideal. The Trump administration seems hell-bent on dismantling the system of checks and balances, which are the pillars of a democratic society. First and foremost, there hasn't been any checks and balances in this entire government for a long time. Like, they all seem to want the same thing. War, 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 print money, print money, print money, print money, war, 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 print money, print money, print money, take away Americans' rights, take away Americans' rights, take away Americans' rights. What checks and balances? If this is what checks and balances looks like, then I don't know. Maybe we need a dictator for a couple of years to fix things. I don't know. What do you guys think? Has it been balanced for you as Americans? Because to me, nothing's been in balance in our country in a long time. And the cherry on the sundae was we were debating whether boys should chop off their wee-wees for the last 10 years. If that's what checks and balances looks like, I think the ship already sunk. I don't know. The Dalai Lama, for those of you that are into, that faith, the Dalai Lama will be born in free world. Dalai Lama declares successor will be born outside of China. Beijing counters. The Dalai Lama's new book reveals his successor will be born outside China, challenging Beijing's control over Tibet's spiritual leadership, Beijing rejects his statement, insisting it has authority to select the next Dalai Lama. That's what communism looks like. They're going to tell you, no, we're going to pick the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama emphasizes the importance of continuing his mission and the Tibetan people. For those of you that have no idea where Tibet is, it's a province taken by China, and they've been stripped of a lot of their rights. You know, Tibet is a very ancient place with very ancient ways. The Dalai Lama, although the Dalai Lama had some very weird videos, if those of you that remember, with the boys and the kiss. I mean, I don't know. Can we pull that up? Let me pull that up, man. Let me just make sure my memory is not flogged here. Dalai Lama kiss boy. Okay. Let me just see. There's some weird stuff that was going on. Okay, yeah.
The Dalai Lama has apologized after a video showing him kissing a boy sparked outrage on social media. This happened back in February at an event in India. Now, the video shows the spiritual leader kissing a boy on the lips and then sticking his tongue out and asking the child to, quote, suck my tongue. The Dalai Lama's office issued a statement saying His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, and that the
I mean, there's nothing.
Words.
There's nothing innocent.
The Dalai
about
Lama
that. There's nothing innocent about asking some boy to suck your tongue, bro. It's a little sketch there. Whatever. So the next guy that's going to tell boys to suck his tongue is going to be born outside of China, supposedly, based on this guy's analysis. And no offense, I love Tibet. That was weird, man, when that thing happened. I'm sorry, that thing was weird, bro. The Dalai Lama, since the purpose of reincarnation is to carry on the work of the predecessor, the new Dalai Lama will be born in the free world. So the traditional mission of the Dalai Lama, that is to be the voice for universal compassion, the spiritual leader of the Tibetan Buddhism and the symbol of Tibet, embodying the aspirations of the Tibetan people, will continue, the Dalai Lama wrote. Imagine the next Dalai Lama is Trump's son, the young one. What's his name, man? Imagine he ends up being the Dalai Lama. As per the news agency Reuters, this is the first time an 89-year-old Tibetan spiritual leader has explicitly said that the next Dalai Lama will be born in the free world rather than under Chinese rule. He previously suggested he might not reincarnate at all or could return outside Tibet, possibly in India, where he has been living in exile since 1959. Meanwhile, Beijing has rejected the Dalai Lama's statements, insisting that it alone has the power to determine his successor. According to the news agency AFP, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Niang said on Tuesday that the Dalai Lama is a political exile who's engaged in anti-China separatist activities under the cloak of religion. Yeah. All right. Enough of that story. Now, this is something that really is bothering me. And from what I can tell, this is gaslighting. In my opinion, this is color revolution. If you've been online over the last couple of days, you've seen images of people being dragged and beaten with sticks, and all the captions are saying these are Christians being persecuted in Syria. When you go to the news, it doesn't say Christians. It says Alawites. Has nothing to do with Christians. Now, I'm not saying there's not some instances of this happening in Syria, but I want to clarify something here. First of all, if you're from Syria and you're watching the show, or you're of Syrian descent and you can tell us what's really going on the ground, I would greatly appreciate it. I would love it if you could drop a comment, send an email, because I'm trying to find news on this and I can't. We live in a time where you got to be careful what you're watching and to make sure it is authentic. I always tell all of you, even me, please double check my references. When I make a quote or I say something on a podcast, sometimes I don't have time to double check because I'm live or whatever it is. We can all make mistakes. But there are definitely antagonizers, in my opinion, that are trying to make Muslims and Christians go at it again. And who does that benefit? If we can get Muslims and Christians to fight each other, I will leave that answer up to you. Who does that benefit? Who allowed the new Syrian government to take power? Who let them roll right in? So before you go all crazy on these videos, I'm pretty sure the average Syrian that's Muslim and Christian, they don't hate each other, from my understanding. I believe there's an agenda to create a color revolution and, again, to create sectarian violence and to destabilize the entire region. And I said this the day this guy, who was a former ISIS member, walked in and took over Syria with the blessing of the West and Turkey. And so who knows what's going on over there? But I know as a Muslim, We can't hate Christians, nor can we hurt them, and they shouldn't hurt and kill us either. And it should be our joint belief that Jesus Christ is a spiritual leader sent by God that should unite us. And to me, these videos, they don't seem right. They seem to be the same videos we saw of men out in the desert with these grainy videos and orange jumpsuits, and none of the videos seem like, how do we really know what's going on, man? What do we really know? What do we really know, man? We don't. But there's definitely, in my opinion, an agenda to get these two large faiths that believe in Jesus to kill each other. 100%. So, I've seen all those videos, yet none of the media is reporting it. None of it. So either A, if it is happening and they're not reporting, that's very weird and very shady. Or B, it's people online and bots trying to create chaos and make hatred brew. So please be careful, because we live in a time of deception, and it's the truth. And why do I sound like an immigrant, man? I was born and raised in America. I sound like I can't even speak English. Here's what's going on. Religious slaughter in Syria shows need for U.S., Europe to keep a close eye on Islamist regime, Greek foreign minister. With hundreds left dead over the weekend under Syria's new regime, Greek foreign minister Georgios Gerapatritis warned Europe and the U.S. to keep a close eye on the ruling Islamist group that is working to gain acceptance by the West. Syria contains a sizable population of Orthodox Christians, and Gerapatritis insisted that the international community demand religious minorities be included in governance or else leave sanctions in place. All ethnic and religious minorities should be included in the governance rule of law, he told Fox News Digital. I agree. It is of the utmost importance that the U.S. and Europe are keeping a close eye on Syria. We need to encourage the new regime to stay close to international law. Days of clashes between those affiliated with Syria's new governing force, HTS, and those loyal to ousted leader Bashar al-Assad have left hundreds of civilians dead. Now, from what I've gathered, the people that are being rounded up and they're doing these things to are people that were supporters and friends and allies of the brutal dictator that was just thrown out of power. In my opinion, they pushed one brutal dictator out for another brutal dictator to take their place. Is it religious? From what I can tell, no. So I'm looking for concrete proof here, not just some videos on YouTube. People jump. They see something, just like when October 7th happened, there was rumors of beheaded babies and being thrown in ovens, and they were being, women were being sexually whatever, right? And it turned out not to be true, but the damage was done. So my question is, can we verify that this is happening? And even if it were, this is not Islam, period. You are not allowed to kill and persecute Christians, period. So that's what I have to say on that. But from what I can tell, it's been the rounding up and the retribution of a lot of people who suffered under Bashar al-Assad. If any of you can verify,
executions,
please let me know. Now, here's another video from CNN. Graphic extent of violence in Syria. Eyewitness testimonies and video verified by CNN show Syrian government loyalists carrying out field executions, with some speaking of purifying the country. Military operation against remnants of the former Assad regime. Had nothing to do with religion. Yet if you look online, over the last couple of nights, they make it look like, oh, the Muslims are rounding up all the Christians and executing them. That's not what seems to be reported. And let me tell you something. CNN and Fox News would love if that was the case. They would love to amplify. Muslims are killing Christians. They would love to. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. Now, I'm not saying there's not Christians losing their lives there, but what is the purpose? Were they loyal to the Assad regime and now people want revenge? Let me tell you something, man. My family suffered under Enver Hoxha. He was the dictator of Albania. And after the Kosovo War, there was a lot of Albanians that they got revenge, unfortunately, on Serbian civilians. A lot of them did support what Serbia was doing to the Albanians. And right after the battle was over, there was a couple of weeks of chaos, and some of them got killed because people were pissed. People suffered under them. So these things happen in a vacuum of power. So was it for that other reason, I can't find anything to confirm the videos and the gossip and the rumors that I'm seeing on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. So before you get more hatred in your heart, why don't you go and verify and make sure it's the case? And if you're someone from there, or if you can verify and give concrete proof, not these same videos we've been seeing for the last 10 years. It seems like the camera quality never gets better. It's funny. If you look at these videos, they look like the videos we saw of ISIS beheading people. Very similar pattern there. Read between the lines, if you will. But who put this new governor in power, this new ruler of Syria? Who put him in power? Start there. That's who you should point your fingers at. Not the world faith. The leaders that were put in power by who? By who? Thank you. Trump vows to lead charge to oust Massie. Now, I didn't know much about this Massie guy. He seems to be one of the realest dudes in power in America right now. He really is America first. And a lot of people are saying, Trump, you're not America first. You ran on America first, yet you've been lobbied by some of the most powerful lobbies. You seem to put certain countries in the Middle East ahead of American interests. You will send them a blank check. You're not America first, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not even getting into who's right in that conflict with Gaza. But you're not. Any power that gets a blank check when you want to sit here and talk about Ukraine and this and that and boom, 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 and we're going to make America great. And there's this country that seems to have this spell all over you. They get a blank check, millions and billions of dollars. Don't talk about your America first. You're not, because you would stop it for everybody. You would bring everyone home and we would figure this shit out. That's not what's happening. So, Trump vows to lead the charge to oust Massie. President Trump is vowing to lead charge to unseat Republican Representative Thomas Massie, who has said he will not support the GOP's short-term government funding bill ahead of Friday's shutdown deadline. They just passed the bill, by the way, with one Democrat voting. Trump began a Truth Social post late Monday night by thanking the House Freedom Caucus for backing the stopgap. Now, what everyone's saying online is that this guy, Massie, doesn't support what's been going on and doesn't want, America being controlled by another government. And here's a video of him. And this was aired a day ago. So let's hear from his own mouth why he's under attack, and especially by Trump. America first, right? Here we go.
It was a military overthrow of the Egyptian government. And we've been sending them $1.3 billion a year for as long.
This is how to get in jail.
Oh, because I'm not under my profile. I have commercials. Basically, I watched the video and he was talking about how all this money goes to Israel and this is why I'm under attack. And it's not that I have anything against Israel, but I want America to be first. And why are we sending billions of dollars to Egypt and Israel and all these countries when we need to take care of Americans? Which sounds like MAGA, right? Like that's why Trump ran, right? America first. This guy's like, let's be America first. And everyone ganged up on him. Why? Because they're all being lobbied, bro. They're all being paid millions of dollars to support the conflict overseas. That's not America first. And I don't care if it was Albania. I'm Albanian. I would have a problem with it. If America was doing it for Albania, I would be upset too. In that sense. If they're going to always put Albania first and not take care of America, because as an American, I want America taken care of first. Because if America's strong, then America can help other countries that are really allies. And not because they're paid or because some corporation comes and gives them millions of dollars. And America should help Albania because they're the most pro-American people on earth. And we're not getting much help. Like, we don't get much. And we love this country. So America really should invest in Albania. What's scary is they just went to meet with Trump Jr. just went to meet with Serbia. I guess they're getting planned to betray the Albanians, I guess. I guess we're going to get a knife rammed in our back again, I guess. Throughout history, this is what's happened to our people. We show love and we get betrayed, as usual. But it's too early to judge. I really hope that Trump is not working some backdoor deal where the Ukraine gets X amount and then Kosovo's in play because, the Balkans really is a powder keg. And I don't think another war in the Balkans would benefit anybody in Europe or the world. But that's what these people want. They're warmongers, bro. Start one there, end it there, start it back. It doesn't matter who's in that Oval Office, man. It really, really doesn't. I've said this to you how many times? I said, no one's coming to save us. There is no Batman coming to save us. We have to save each other. We have to be vigilant. So, yeah. So Trump is trying to get that guy out. Syria's new government strikes deal to integrate powerful Kurdish rival in landmark agreement. Again, who put these people in power? Who put President Ahmad al-Shara in power? That's all you need to know on who controls policy and what's going on there with violence when it comes to the government. Let's see if we could reload this. 4 arrested in Hyperbaric chamber explosion that killed a 5-year-old in Oakland County. You know, I've been wanting to go and do this. Hyperbaric chamber is like a chamber that they put you in, and they fill it with pure oxygen. And it's supposed to like revitalize all your cells and your lungs and like your blood flow and everything. And I really want to do this. Unfortunately, these people went to one that wasn't running the right way. And on January 31st, 2025, the hyperbaric chamber where this kid was receiving treatment exploded and he lost his life. What a beautiful, precious boy. What a beautiful boy, man. And what a tragedy, man. The FDA said it can also be used to treat other health problems, including carbon monoxide poisoning, diabetic foot ulcers. The increased air pressure in the chamber helps the lungs collect more oxygen, which can get more oxygen to the tissues that need it and help the body heal and fight certain infections. So unfortunately, this poor boy lost his life, man. What's up with my internet, man? What is up? The government already knows a lot about you. Those is trying to access all of it. Elon Musk's team within the Trump administration has sought sweeping access to databases that store personal information on millions and millions of Americans. The data collected and maintained by the government isn't just your name, home address, and social security number. Some federal agencies store information that many people don't share even with their closest friends and family. Medical diagnosis and treatment, notes from therapy sessions, whether a person has filed bankruptcy, detailed income information. Okay. Musk says he is targeting waste and fraud. The executive order establishing DOGE says its purpose is modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. You know, it's funny because we still don't have the list. Oh, I'm going to tell you who whacked JFK. Oh, we're going to tell you who was on Epstein's list. It's been one big game, bro. One big charade, and the game is on us, because if we were to get the truth about these events, we would know exactly what has happened to our country over the last 70 years, 60 years, who really controls this country, and this is why they don't release it unredacted. It's a joke, because it would contradict everything that they're telling you is good to support, and we should support what's going on, and yeah. Ukraine agrees to U.S.-led ceasefire plan if Russia accepts. Ukraine has agreed to an immediate 30-day ceasefire negotiated by the U.S. if Russia accepts the plan. Ukraine is ready to start talking and stop shooting. That's an amazing turnaround. As a part of the plan, the U.S. immediately lifted its pause on sharing intelligence with Ukraine and will resume security assistance to the country. My, how fast that changed, right? Let's be real. That changed his song and dance real quick. I really hope there's peace there. You know? Trump doubles planned tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum to 50% as trade war intensifies. President Trump said Tuesday that he will double his planned tariffs on steel and aluminum from 25 to 50% for Canada, escalating a trade war with the U.S. northern neighbor and standing unmoved by recent stock market turmoil. Trump said on social media that the increase of the tariff set to take effect on Wednesday is a response to the price increases. I have instructed my Secretary of Commerce to add an additional 25%. So let me tell you what happens, bro. When you're trying to reverse 20, 30 years, 50 years of NAFTA and one-sided trade deals, and now you're firing back with tariffs, you got to show the people that you're like negotiating with that you're willing to go all the way. And you do it. And then once it starts to hit them too, then they come back and say, okay, let's do something that's fair. You got to remember, The trade policies have not been fair to America over the last 50 years. We've lost everything. Everything was outsourced. Everything was sent. Imagine us, a superpower that didn't need anybody. We didn't need the globe. The globe needed us. All of our technology, all of our secrets, all of our wealth, everything sent offshore. People being paid pennies in other countries and at the same time screwing the American worker, turning manufacturing cities into ghettos. How do you think we're going to get out of it? You think it's going to be peaceful and there's not going to be any pain? Like, people need to wake up, man. It's like I gained 80 pounds, right? I went through hell, a lot of pain to take off 50. I still got to lose another 40. It wasn't easy getting on the treadmill and so. There's no way out without pain. Now, I don't know if this is going to fix it. I'm not an economic expert, but I would have to assume it would show the people that you're negotiating with, that you're sick and tired of it, and you're not going to do the one-sided shit anymore, and this is how you prove it to them. Like, call my bluff. Yeah, the markets are going to be volatile from it. Protesters demanded the release of the Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil as judge blocks deportation. Federal judge said that Khalil will remain in the U.S. as the court weighs a challenge to his planned deportation, as President Donald Trump says his arrest will be the first of many. Rallies are planned for Tuesday in at least 2 major cities as protesters continue to demand the release of Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil, whose arrest President Donald Trump said is the first of many. Free Mahmoud Khalil walkout was scheduled to take place at 11:30 at Columbia University in New York City, but a person with knowledge of the situation said efforts were being made to shift it to off-campus spaces. Another rally is planned for 5:30 p.m. at Federal Plaza in Chicago. Khalil, a Columbia graduate, was arrested Saturday at his apartment by federal immigration agents who told him that his student visa was being revoked. So basically, because he's not a citizen, they're just kicking him out. So he doesn't have a First Amendment because he's not American. How do you feel about that? So the fact that he's leading protests, whether you agree with the situation or not, I think it's a slippery slope. I mean, even though he's not an American citizen, I do believe in the First Amendment for anybody, even if they're here temporarily. Like, you get the right to speak freely, man. You know, it's how we learn from each other and debate each other. And what are your thoughts on that? Arrested Philippine ex-president Duterte to face legacy of thousands killed in drug crackdown. This guy looks like a stone cold killer, man. Philippine ex-president Rodrigo Duterte, who left a savage legacy from his deadly anti-drugs crackdown, was arrested on a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity for thousands killed in a war he waged against drugs in a political career spanning decades. If I was him, I would say, well, I don't recognize the court. Just like America, they don't recognize the court. This is my Filipino accent. They don't recognize the court. They let Benjamin Netanyahu and his generals, they don't even have to go. They can still visit other countries. They don't get arrested. So why should I have to go? And why should he have to go? If the international court was real and it wasn't some type of kangaroo court, when they issued the warrants for Bibi, and if he was a man that had nothing to hide, like many of the leaders of Kosovo, they were called into The Hague. People like Ramush Haradini, former prime minister, went to The Hague 2 times to defend his actions during that war, and he was released. You got nothing to hide. Why are you hiding, Bibi? If I was this guy, I wouldn't cooperate. Why should I cooperate if Israel gets a free pass? And again, we're not saying they're convicted of anything, but if the international court rules, what type of value can you give that court if they're not willing to use the same standards for their allies? It's a joke. It is a joke. I'm sorry. Joke. So let's see if this video, it's almost done. Israeli far-right minister says Trump's plan to displace Gazans taken shape. This is reported by France 24. The plan proposed by U.S. President Donald Trump to remove 2.4 million, that's a lot of people, man. 2.4 million Palestinians from the Gaza Strip was taking shape. Israel's far-right finance minister told the Israeli parliament on Sunday experts have said that forcibly removing Gazans would amount to a violation of international law. Do you think? Do you think it violates international law?
And ever since I've been in Congress, back in 2013, I thought,
let's go back to Massie.
If we're not sure who's in charge of the Egyptian government, maybe we could hold off a year on that 1.3 billion until things sort themselves out and we see who's got the name on the checks when it goes into their checking account over there in Egypt. So I offered an amendment, and I had a floor staffer come to me who was in charge of like the Foreign Affairs Committee. And he said, we're under a lot of pressure not to let your amendment get a vote. I said, well, who's pressuring you? And he said, the State Department and AIPAC.
I really hope I don't get a strike for this, man. I got to be careful when I use other content.
Spending still went to Egypt that year. And it was because AIPAC and the State Department, this is back when our GOP leadership would tell me what was actually going on. Since then, I've figured it out. But they said it was AIPAC. And they have so much influence up here on foreign aid. And you wouldn't think that AIPAC, that's the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, you wouldn't think they would want $1.3 billion going to somebody who's ostensibly not their friend in the Middle East. But they do because they're trying to bribe them into a friendship, but they're using our money for it.
What else you want to know? People are saying this is why they want him out. We know that all the Congress, senators, they all take money from this lobby. This guy's calling it out. Next thing you know, they've all turned on him and they want to throw him out of his seat. What do you think about that? This is what I mean by America first. I don't care what country it is. And if you're lobbying our leaders, they need to start wearing like uniforms like the sports players. This is who pays me. So we can start to figure out why they really vote and do the things that they do, because they're not voting for me and you. I promise you. They're not doing anything for me and you. And whenever they do, it's pennies compared to the trillions of dollars that they've spent on war, destruction, murder, death, oppression, violence. Disgusting, bro. So that's what's going on. Now, you shouldn't take any trains in Pakistan anytime soon. At least 450 taken hostage in a Pakistan train attack. The attack happened in a mountainous area right before a tunnel. At least 6 military personnel have been killed and 450 people have been taken hostage after the Balochistan Liberation Army, a militant group, attacked a train in Pakistan. The separatist militant group claimed that it had 182 military and security personnel hostage, but said they have released the majority of the civilians aboard the train. The group claimed a higher number of casualties in the attack, saying they killed 20 Pakistani military personnel and shot down a drone. I've never even heard of this group. The BLA had threatened to kill all the hostages if Pakistan's military tries to rescue them. The BLA blew up part of the track, forcing the train to stop before they boarded and took control. The attack happened in the mountainous area right before a tunnel, making a rescue very difficult. Pakistani Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi condemned the attack and said the government would not make any concessions. Beasts who fire on innocent passengers. So that's not good for Pakistan. Now, this is a crazy story, okay? This is crazy, man. Maybe some of these people that are being rounded up by Chris Hansen, man, maybe it wasn't their fault, man. Yeah. Speaking of which, I might be meeting him at the end of the month. I'm due to go to Cleveland. That's 99.9% by God's will. I'll be in Cleveland, Ohio for 2 days. So if you're in the Cleveland area, shoot me a text and maybe we'll have coffee. I will be in Tampa and Orlando in the beginning of April. I will also be on the Mick Hunt podcast. I'm going to film that after tomorrow. There's a lot going on, folks. Remember, it's not just my channel. So stay tuned to the Bek Lover podcast, where you might just learn a thing or two about life. This is a crazy story. This is a crazy story. Drugs taken by millions in the U.S. can cause deviant sexual behavior, including becoming a pedo. But patients weren't warned by their doctors. Imagine. Now, this is why I have a problem, man. You know, people are like, hey, you have ADHD, you should go on medication. I don't trust these medicines, man. Anything that alters hormones, the mind, you know, it's just dangerous, man. Okay, next thing you know, you're on Chris Hansen to catch a predator. This is crazy. I mean, you can't make this up. Let's pull this up here. Look at this. A class of drugs commonly used to treat movement disorders like Parkinson's disease and restless leg syndrome is pushing people into risky sexual behavior. Patients taking dopamine agonists say the drugs have triggered uncontrollable impulses, including flashing, sex addiction, and even pedo, leaving them struggling with feelings of shame and confusion. Imagine, man, you're like, oh, take this pill. Next thing you know, you want to go sleep with little boys. And that's not something you would ever do or want to do. But the pill's making you do it. Some would make you think that they created like that on purpose, man. This is wild, bro. Reports reviewed by the BBC suggest drug maker GSK has known about the risk of so-called deviant sexual behavior since 2003. Yet patients claim their doctors continue to fail to warn them about these potentially devastating side effects. Why? Because they're getting money. That's why. A key brain chemical that controls movement is activated by pleasure. However, these drugs can overstimulate feelings of pleasure while dulling the brain's ability to recognize the consequences of our actions. I mean, man, these drugs are dangerous, man. And I've told you for a long time, I believe a lot of these mass shootings are because so many teenagers and young boys are put on these types of pills. Not this one specifically, but psychotropic drugs like Ritalin and this thing and that thing. And I believe that's where these murder-suicide, there goes my thing. There goes my stream. But I really, truly believe, and if you listen to the commercials on television, it's like, are you experiencing unaliving thoughts? Reach out to your doctor. Like the side effects, man, there's a price to everything we put into our system, man. From the food we eat, to the water we drink, to the pills we take, or whatever. We really have to be careful, man. Now, one thing that's flying around in the background, the measles, the measles. Oh my God, the measles, the measles. Getting the measles was a part of life. Yet they're putting it in the media like, oh my God, the measles. My friend, when we found out our friends had the measles, my mom would make us go hang out with them. If my cousins had the chicken pox, we had to go get the chicken pox. We'd go to their house the next day. We used to have parties to pass the measles to each other. We didn't go, oh my God, the measles, the measles. Here's an amazing video that I found on X, which shows how the measles used to be in the past.
They sent me home. Measles.
It's either measles or a strange case of red freckles.
You have got a temperature.
They told me 101.1. What's the record?
Never.
This is how the world was. You had the measles, big deal.
A great big smile.
No school for a few days.
Say hello to my dotted son.
That's how it was perceived in my generation.
Boy, this is the life, isn't it? Yeah.
Courtesy of the Brady Bunch.
If you have to get sick, you sure can't beat the measles.
It was no big deal. Now they have to go, oh my God, the measles. Oh my God, the measles. Oh my God, the measles. Look at the headlines. Texas measles cases grows to 223, mostly among children and teens. Yeah, that's who usually gets the measles. It's usually children and teens because they don't have immunity. Measles case confirmed in Vermont. Oh my God. Like it's crazy, bro. The measles are in LA. Yeah, the measles is out there. It's always been out there. What a world we're living in, man. What a world. Let's see if we have anything else to cover here. Anything interesting here at all? Let's see. Is there anything left? Let's go over here now. Elon Musk. Bill Burr's catching a lot of heat right now. He's viral for some reason. I guess he made fun of Elon Musk and everyone's attacking him. Make sure you follow on X at Bek Lover NYC. I do host a lot of live spaces on there, so you get to interact with me and come on stage. And we talk about very crazy stuff that we can't talk about on here. So, in support of the policies of President Trump and to demonstrate our confidence in the future of the U.S., Tesla commits to doubling vehicle production in the U.S. within 2 years. That's great for you, bro. But I ain't a fan of the electric world at all. And a lot of his facilities have been under attack. There's been a lot going on right now. So, crazy. But, I mean, he's basically the vice president, bro. Can we agree by this point that Elon Musk is really the vice president?
President Trump and his administration, and as an act of faith in America, Tesla is going to double vehicle output in the United States within the next 2 years.
That's a big deal. That's great. Thank you. And by the way, he makes one car. This one I don't understand. This one I don't want, but that's okay. Without a steering wheel. It comes out next year, right?
Yes.
Explain that, please.
Yes. Well, the Cybercap starts production in Texas next year.
Elon Musk is winning, bro. If anybody won, it's Elon Musk, bro. He went all in. He's basically whatever he needs, man. Free advertising. Think about how much money he's saving on Tesla advertising. Just stand next to Trump. Yeah, we're making a new car. It's going to be great. He doesn't have to spend $1 on ads. Crazy. Let's see here. JD Vance's cousin is fighting for Ukraine. This is what he thinks of Trump, Putin, and the VP. Let's see what he has to say about his cousin.
I hear other people being interviewed and like their answers for why they went to Ukraine are 100% altruistic, which I think is. There's always an element of adventure or curiosity that you're trying to fulfill in yourself. I do think the primary reason for anybody to go over there is, or should be, to help people, right? But if you ignore those other motivators, I think you're dishonest in a way. It was all of the above for me. Obviously, my primary goal was to help people. Looking on the news, which there was a lot of mistrust in the media then and probably still in the United States, you had two polarized views of what was going on. One was that Ukraine is a nation of pure angelic perfection, and the other is Ukraine is a cesspool of biolabs and Nazis, and I'm like, it's somewhere in the middle, right? It's so polarized.
That's J.D. Vance's cousin, Nate Vance, a former U.S. Marine, fights on the front line with Ukrainian forces. The 45-year-old started out training Ukrainians who had rushed the defense of Kiev, but soon found himself invited to join the Da Vinci Wolves group of volunteers that were absorbed into the Ukrainian army. These guys he's got balls, bro. You got to give him that. He's got balls to go fight against Russia, bro.
And if I can help people in whatever way, then I will. And if I go over there and I find out I'm useless, I'll leave. Because it's stupid to just be in the way.
But you were a military veteran yourself from the U.S. forces, right?
Correct. Yeah, I was just an infantryman. Like, no, I'm not super soldier or anything like that. But it's one thing, and one of the main issues that I was like, I did mention in some other podcasts that I was writing a book, and the book was more related towards like solving some training issues, obviously to memorialize some of the friends that I made that were then subsequently killed. But my primary issue before last Friday's meeting was focusing on that training thing. And one thing that kind of struck me is when I first went over there, I was like, it's been 20 years since I was in the Marines. I should probably avoid getting into a fight. I'm also a little older, a little bit bigger in the middle of my body than I used to be. It's probably not a good idea. But then we started helping doing some training things, and I realized you put a machine gun in front of me that I hadn't seen in 20 years, and I knew how to set it up and engage targets that you can't see. It just came back to me, right? And I really got to commend the Marine Corps for training me so well that somewhere deep in my subconscious that they trained me so well that I could remember how to do it 20 years later. And if you're not providing troops with that kind of training routine, you're really doing them a disservice, right?
Marines are no joke. God protect the Marines. What do you guys think about the vice president's cousin? I mean, I don't know how you feel about the Ukraine conflict. And like I said, I do love Ukrainian people. I do believe in their sovereignty. I'm sad that they're in the position that they're in. I think that this war could have been avoided. And I think the globalists got the best of the situation, just like they will. Unfortunately, I think the Balkans is set to be charged and primed again. And I am begging the young people of Serbia, of Kosovo, of Croatia, of Bosnia, of Macedonia, to really just be the generation that stops it, man. Every couple of 100 years, we've been killing each other. For what, man? For what? Nobody's winning over there. I really pray this message gets to the youth of the Balkans, that these leaders don't care about you, that you have to be the ones that break this chain of violence, that you can be the generation that can coexist with your neighbors, man. We don't have to be enemies, man. Don't fall for the bait. Enough with these old ideologies and this bullshit, man, that led to the deaths of my family and your families, and our people are all suffering, man. All of our youth have left those countries. For what? So we can do it again after 20 years? I've been hearing things are acting up in Bosnia also. These are very dangerous places for things to happen. To those of you that don't understand the history, this is where World War I started, in Sarajevo. So I'm praying that the young people in this movement that seems to be spreading across the globe, that are tired of war and tired of the status quo and tired of being manipulated and taught to hate people for no other reason because their TV tells them or some asshole in a suit. That at the end of the day, we're all human beings, man. We can live together, man. And we're talking about going to Mars. We can't even figure it out here. So that's kind of where we're at. Here we go. NATO chief vows unwavering support for Bosnia's integrity after Serb separatist actions. NATO Secretary General on Monday pledged the military alliance's unwavering support for Bosnia's territorial integrity after a series of Bosnian Serb separatist moves raised tensions nearly 30 years after the end of the bloody war. You know, it's like, and if I'm not mistaken, Trump Jr. is in Serbia today. Okay. So let's see what happened with that. Let's pull this up. Trump Jr. Students block access to Serbian state TV. Nationwide protests. Trump Jr. meets embattled leader Vučić in surprising Serbia visit. Like, why would you want to meet with this guy, Trump Jr.? Why do you want to meet with him when his own people, the youth, don't even want him? You know? This goes to the young Serbians, man. You're on the right path. These people are all globalists. They want us to fight and kill each other and to keep doing this shit. Why Trump Jr. is meeting with this guy, basically a Milosevic protege? I don't know, but I don't like it, and I don't think you either. So we need to find a way, man. I think that's about it for today, man. I might take a call or two. Let's see if we can do that. Let's take a call or two, man. Let's do it. Because I'm pretty much done and I'm tired, guys. I had a long day. You got 30 seconds to call in. I'm taking 1 or 2 calls. We're live on the air. If you prank me, funny, it's live. Yeah, man. You got 30 seconds flat to call me. You get on my nerves, this ain't a democracy on my show. I hang up. It's very simple. 30 seconds to give me a call if you have anything you want to say or any news that I might have missed, or forever hold your peace. This is your boy Bek Lover, and we're getting ready to sign off, man. So let's see. Is anyone calling or what? 30 seconds. Start the timer. In any event, it's been my pleasure going over today's headlines. Make sure you stay tuned here. Make sure you check out all my other platforms. I put up today, by the way, actually, I need to pull that up. Let me backtrack that. Today, if you go to my Instagram, okay, it couldn't have been more obvious. And I'm going to avoid certain words for certain reasons. This is me earlier today, okay? To look up at the sky. Look at what it does. I literally watched the sky. You see that? Lines all over. It was a crystal, listen to me. It was a crystal clear day today in New York City. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I swear to God. You guys keep thinking we're crazy. We're not crazy, man. I'm congested from this crap. All for 45 minutes, I watched them putting lines everywhere, and then you can see the haze, man. Look at the haze. Look at the mouse. None of that was there. You tell me that's a normal contrail. Go ahead. You tell me that's a normal contrail. It's not. There's something going on above our skies, man. I think they're trying to dim the rays of the sun. I'm telling you. Okay? We watched this for half an hour, man. So it goes from a crystal clear sky to this. Okay? Look, they're doing it right now. You can see it spread out. It's not a normal contrail. Okay? There's even one point where I show 2 planes at the same time, bro. It's undeniable. Follow me. Not normal what's going on. You can see it. What do you all think? And people think it's just, that's just the way it is. Look at this. Look, what? This is the part. All these airplanes so close together. Look. They do it at the same time, right? Just normal contrail. Do you see how one disappears? Okay, look at where the mouse. That disappears, this one stays. And then it becomes hazy. Okay? You can see it. Look, that one stays. You see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's right. Contrail, other one. Okay? It's undeniable. Look at the video. I filmed this myself. Right? That's a normal contrail. You see, that one is disappearing. Look at it. The one above it is not disappearing. Go ahead. That is the difference. Say something. You can see the difference in real time. You see? That plane. And then the whole sky, I swear to God, it became misty, man. You can deny it all you want. If you can't take 30 minutes out of your day to pay attention to the sky for the next couple of weeks, if you live in a major city, you're going to see this is not some made-up thing, man. There's something strange going on. And I noticed, you know, like the sun, look at it. For years I've been saying, man, that the sun color seemed like it changed. I didn't realize what was going on. I wasn't paying attention. Okay? They're doing something to the atmosphere, man. Okay?
Look at this. You just witnessed.
You like that, Mert Surtas? Do you like that? Real video, bro.
The contrail disappears. Why do you always take the worst shot of you, like my head?
This is me yelling at my producer.
Slow down. You move around.
Gotta always take a shot of my bald spot.
Back of my head,
because you always move forward.
I'm asking you, those of you that are watching this live, was that normal? You saw it with your own eyes. Is that normal to you?
So make sure, like I'm saying, check out all my other, I have different content, right? I'm going to be vlogging. You're going to get to see behind the scenes in my life. I'm launching a new channel. The first episode's probably going up in the next day or two. I'm doing a weekly vlog with Sonny Faz on his channel. That's going to be more religious content. I'm going to be doing another talk show, supposedly with Brad Lee, once a week. And I'm going all out. I'm also working with the Comic Strip Live. We're going to be doing a comedy podcast. I'm going all systems go. You're going to see different sides of me you've never seen. You only know me as this guy that talks about serious stuff and the world's coming to an end and all that stuff. But that's not why I even started podcasting. I'm being very real with you. I started podcasting to inspire people. I started the comeback team to tell people stories, to inspire people to not give up. That's why I started. That's why if you go on this channel, you'll see hundreds of interviews with amazing people. And I miss doing that work. But I'm not going to stop doing this because I know a lot of you like it. So I'm going to have this show, and I am going to try to be more consistent, so forgive me. It's been really crazy. I promise you I'm almost there. You've waited this long. Don't miss out on what I'm doing because I'm working hard. I appreciate all of you. If you want a super chat, it helps us with our move. We have a lot of things going on. We're moving the whole studio to another location. I have 3 studios going up. I'll be in Ohio. If you're in Cleveland, the 26th, 27th of March. I'll be in Tampa and Orlando area for about 9 days, April 3rd to the 12th. I'm going back on a couple of other big shows. I don't think I'm going to be able to do Danny Jones this time around, even though I really want to. But it is what it is. I love you all. Thank you for always having my back. You saw the video yourself. I took it myself. It's undeniable. Go to X, share that video with your friends and family and say, listen, man, there's something going on and we need to figure it out. This is your boy, Bek Lover. Most people, they don't want the truth. Do you know why they don't want the truth? Because they can't handle the truth. This is Bek Lover, and I'll see you in the next episode. Till the next time.
truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.